Hello and
Hi.
welcome to another episode of
Millennial Movie Club.
We have a special friend today,
Special
aka
guest.
my dog Jeff, who will not chill the fuck out because his daddy's not home today.
Okay.
My hat doubles as a Marion / Babysitters Club / Dog Sitters Club. All right. And why am I talking about Marion? We'll get to it in a second. My name is Jaz, and I went to an all-adult sleepaway camp last weekend. That's something interesting about me. This is not an ad. This is just straight up fun. Went to this summer camp. You do all the things that kids do, but you're an adult and everyone is getting absolutely wasted.
Did they have arts and crafts?
They had arts and crafts.
That was my favorite part.
I made a bracelet.
Did you?
They also had like paint and sip.
Oh, of course. That's kind of lame.
Well, it's arts and crafts with alcohol.
Yeah,
So-
but like if I went to paint and sip now, I'd be like, this is lame. I don't want to do what the teacher's telling me. I'd probably just want to get drunk.
That's fair. Yeah, there was lake inflatables. I did archery. I did.
Sorry, and you said earlier before we started recording that there was an open bar from 9 to 1 a.m.
Premium open bar
And
from
they
9
had
a.m. to 1 a.m.
Archery.
Well, I don't. This is a secret, but I don't think any of them listen to my podcast. There was a record. The second day was when we were all supposed to do like the Olympics activities, and a record 4 people were sent to the emergency room.
Emergency room.
The emergency room. I saw one of them happen right before my eyes because it was raining out. The temperature dropped to 40 degrees. We're out here in our 30s and 40s playing kickball on a slick, wet grass field. And this guy, 2 people ate shit right in front of me. This one woman, I was manning third base, which is the coolest thing I've ever said.
Yeah.
And she ate shit so hard, like running to third base. And I was like, oh my God, are you okay? She goes, I don't know. I just had 2 back surgeries. I was like, my friend, what are you doing out here?
Back surgery
2
and you went to
back
drunk
surgeries.
adult camp?
Even if you're going to go to drunk adult camp, lay around in a floaty in the heated pool.
Be like, I'm going to be planted at the arts and crafts pavilion.
Yeah.
I had back surgery.
Make a bracelet.
She was like, no, I'm going to do pole vaulting.
Don't do slip and slide kickball after 2 back surgeries, my gal.
She said, I'm going for a hat trick. I'm doing 3 back surgeries.
Third time's a charm. A second guy literally is like running out into the outfield, eats shit, fucks up his ankle. This guy's down. I feel like I'm watching professional soccer where they're like he's in the fetal position for 10 minutes. People be getting injured.
Yeah.
But you know what? A good time was had by all except for those 4 people, I guess. And
An emergency room, right? Not like the nurse's tent.
No,
Emergency room.
that's what we were told. They were like, sorry, everybody, we have to cancel the slip and slide flip cup. That's a real thing.
Okay.
Slip and slide down a hill to flip cup. They were like, because we've had a record of 4 people get sent to the emergency room today.
Like,
sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
adults only, 30s and 40s aged people. What activities should we do? Backflip-a-thon.
I'm like, don't make me play like a kid when my
Yeah.
joints are screaming.
Why don't we have a who can read the most pages underneath a tree-thon?
Speed reading-a-thon.
Knitting-a-thon. Like,
Who can make a scarf the fastest?
we are not 12.
You can still drink your White Claw. Just do it.
Just finger paint.
Just do it while sitting down. Anyway, who is you?
I'm Jackson McClaskey, and I'm wearing this hat. I'm wearing the fuck out of this
You're
hat.
wearing the fuck out of this hat.
I did not wear this on the subway. I would have been bullied.
I mean, what we call bullying on the subway is stabbed.
Oh,
We
yeah.
call that surprise punched in your face.
But I think I bought this at a thrift store this was a COVID purchase. I used to peruse
That
thrift
makes
stores
sense.
during the pandemic.
We're all trying on a different lifestyle in the
I was like,
pandemic.
what if I wore a 1940s hat?
Something in you was like, one day I'm going to host a podcast.
And we're
going
going
to
to talk about Indiana Jones.
Fuck yeah. And we did not even plan to dress up.
We never plan our outfits.
We never plan our outfits together.
No.
We just showed up absolutely nailing the aesthetics.
And last week, yeah, we both dressed
Same.
very ballet-y. There's been a lot of weeks where we dress similarly in the same vein.
And we're inspired by the cinema.
And
we're
it's not
ingesting.
planned.
It's not planned. This is what happens when you host a podcast with somebody. You get that group think.
We're on the same cycle.
That brain. We get our period at the very same time.
I'm bleeding.
We're talking about fucking Indiana Jones today.
The first.
The Raiders
OG.
of the Lost Ark. This was not a first watch for me.
No. Oh my God, I grew up watching this. When we talk about like nostalgia movies, I so vividly remember watching this movie. My mom would lay out a blanket on the living room floor. She would make taquitos or pizza rolls.
I thought you were going to say she would make tequila shots.
my mom would make tequila shots, and we'd be out like a light, and she would put on something she wanted to watch.
We'd be doing that shot competition like they do at the very beginning. And whoever stays conscious gets to watch the movie.
No, but my older brother loved this movie, and because of that,
Yep.
I really liked the movie, but like I just wanted to be near my older brother, so I'd watch this movie.
Oh, this is an absolute classic. I think before I even saw the movie, #Florida Kid, I would see the Indiana Jones stunt show at Disney World, which I'm 100% certain it's still there. It's a classic stunt show.
It's fun.
It's really fun. Oh, we should go to Disney together one day.
Ooh. Live from Disney World.
Live from Disney World. None of these episodes are live. Shall we set the scene?
Let's set it.
Dr. Indiana Jones, a renowned archaeologist and expert in the occult, is hired by the U.S. government to find the Ark of the Covenant, which is believed to still hold the 10 Commandments. Unfortunately, Hitler's agents are also after the Ark. Indy and his ex-flame Marion escape from various close scrapes in a quest that takes them from Nepal to Cairo. Very exciting.
Very exciting.
This movie is probably one of the best of all time in terms of adventure.
Action adventure.
Action adventure with just a little sprinkling of comedy.
Sprinkling of romance.
Yeah.
There is something, and I'm sure I'll get into it, that this is like quintessential action adventure fun cinema, right?
Beginnings of Spielberg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This movie set the precedent for so many summer blockbuster movies following it, right? That it's like we have a smarmy lead and, you know,
sassy female cohort. Right. Will they, won't they?
She's not there just to wear like high heels and be saved. Like she knows
she
how
will
to
punch a dude in the face. She does not care.
Drink Ronald McDonald under the table.
They're gonna steal something before a bad guy steals it and make quippy comments while they do it.
Also, the scene where they bone, you know, they don't really, because it's PG.
Yeah.
Somehow this movie's PG.
Somehow this movie's PG.
Blood on the screen.
There were a lot of complaints about that.
That's wild. But when she like kisses his elbow and then kisses his eye,
I was erect.
This is intimacy that I'm talking about.
Yes,
right?
I knew you were going to say that. Okay.
This is hot.
We'll get there. We will get there before we get all hot and bothered at the top of the episode.
The dog's going crazy. He can smell the heat in here.
He's going to be humping our legs in a second. This movie was, as I mentioned, directed by Steven Spielberg. Initially, Paramount did not want him to direct it because up to this point, his previous movies, Jaws, Close Encounters, they were all over budget. I mean, every single one of them. And then his movie 1941 totally bombed at the box office. So the studio told George Lucas, who wrote this film, we know him from writing Star Wars. That's literally all you need to know to be how epic this team was who made this film. They told him to find another director, and then Lucas refused. He was like, I'm not making this movie without Spielberg, and that was the right call.
Yeah.
Spielberg ended up coming in under budget, and the film was a massive success, and no one ever doubted him again.
That's amazing because I was wondering, rewatching this now as an adult, about the budget of this. Because when we think about if we saw a movie like this nowadays, 85% of it would be green screened or blue screened.
CGI'd. It would be so lame. It would be so boring.
Yes. So back then, this was 81 or 82, I wondered the budget of making something like this, that like we have these incredible sets. Like even in the first 10 minutes, we have this Peruvian temple that's like all a real set. It's beautiful.
Literally for the first 5 minutes of the film.
Beautiful.
But however, is one of the most iconic scenes in movies of all time.
Yes.
Of him being chased by this boulder.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how they pulled this off unless everything was just styrofoam painted by some guy's girlfriends.
How did this come under budget?
How did this come under budget?
Yeah.
It's spectacular. We have planes exploding. We have trucks exploding. With
Yeah.
people's faces melting off, which
Like
we'll talk about.
Oh, yeah. Like the chase scenes and all that, which I wonder how long this took to film. Because, I don't know, we have movies that we talk about where it's like, Tom Cruise walking through the door took 5 weeks to shoot.
5 billion takes. But that's because Steven Spielberg's not a fucking masturbatory
He's not like
douche.
jerking off in the corner. He's like, yeah,
Again.
more. Yeah.
Again.
Again. He was like, we're going to do this once, and that's all we've got. So it's got to be
all
good.
we've got.
Yeah.
Especially because, fun fact, the whole part of the movie that's meant to be filmed in Cairo was actually filmed in Tunisia with scorching temperatures over 100 degrees, and 200 members of the crew were struck down with food poisoning.
Ooh. in
Had
that
dysentery.
Ugh.
And including Harrison Ford. And one of the only people who was safe from it was Steven Spielberg, because he packed a bunch of cans of SpaghettiOs and that's like all he ate, which is...
That's concerning.
Even the most iconic filmmakers of our time at heart are just disgusting nerds.
Or just little boys.
Yeah. But like, so this movie had its challenges.
They're like, Steven, we all have crudité. Would you like some? He's like, no, I got my SpaghettiOs. And then they're all ill. He's
Who's
like,
got a can opener?
Chef Boyardee doesn't make me sick.
Told you, suckers.
Told you. I only have incredible lead poisoning.
It's what makes me crazy enough to pull this off.
To come under budget.
I'll come under budget. Indiana Jones, played by Harrison Ford.
Talking about come under budget. That man is hot.
That man is fucking spicy, steamy, yummy in this
Also,
film.
a true testament to nowadays, our action stars are like jacked and roided out and disgusting. When he takes his shirt off, he's got like normal guy body.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
god.
he's a fucking man.
I want to eat cheesecake off that man.
He doesn't need
so
to
hot.
prove his masculinity because that's the thing. These dudes who are all roided out and buffed up, that's not for the ladies. That's for the other men.
That's for
That's for their bros. That's to get guys into the box
and they're
office.
like, they're like, bro, you look so good.
This guy is like,
so jacked and roided.
should we kiss or?
Like, oh, wait, no, we're here to watch Karen Allen. She's the hot one.
Yeah.
But my eyes
Voted by Harper's Bazaar one of the most beautiful women in the world in 1983 or something. Anyway, we know Harrison Ford from Star Wars. This is his favorite role he's ever played.
Oh, and he's so good in it.
He classically, we know this story, he was literally just like a carpenter working odd jobs one day, which is like, I'm gonna get into acting. One of his earliest jobs was he was a roadie on tour with The Doors.
Wow.
So fucking cool.
Come on, touch me, Harrison. Da-da-da-da.
Raid my Raiders arc.
Oh.
In the role of Indiana Jones, Indiana is the name of George Lucas's dog. And that's why he's named Indiana.
Which they bring up in the third one.
Is it?
Yeah, that the explanation of why he's named Indiana. He's like, says something and the dad goes, we named the dog Indiana. Like,
funny.
Yeah.
George Lucas's dog's name is Indiana.
yeah.
Harrison Ford was not the original pick for Indiana Jones, which seems insane. But George Lucas originally was not super sure he wanted to use him because he had just cast him in Star Wars. And he was basically saying he didn't want him to become his Bobby De Niro, like the way that Scorsese was using him in literally everything. So originally,
Who was it?
other names that auditioned, Nick Nolte, Steve Martin.
Oh, wow.
That would have been a very different movie, but I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Bill Murray, Chevy Chase. They were literally going down like every tall, kind of funny guy. And then the guy who eventually landed the role was Tom Selleck.
Okay.
Which, again, totally makes sense. But then they wouldn't let him out of his Magnum PI contract to shoot it. So literally they were like 3 weeks before production began, they realized they couldn't get Selleck. They could not get him out of his Magnum PI. So literally they were just like, all right, fine, we'll do Harrison Ford.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
It would have been a very different movie.
Yeah, and not that Tom Selleck back then,
No, I mean, he would have sold it. He would have been fine. But like a Bill Murray or a Steve Martin. Chevy Chase as Indiana Jones, that would have been
National Lampoon's Lost Ark.
That's what it would have been. Moving right along, we've got Karen Allen playing Marion. We knew her before this from Animal House. She was like known for her like iconic voice. She does have this kind of like raspy,
gravelly,
not the daintiest voice. Bitch is loud.
Mm-hmm.
This whole movie she's yelling,
"You've got a partner." Yeah.
Yeah. Andy! But really though, after this, she preferred stage acting to movie stardom. And after she had her son in 1990, she stepped away from acting to concentrate on running her own yoga center and knitwear company, as well as teaching acting and directing at a college in Massachusetts, until she was brought back into the franchise in 2007 for Crystal Skull, because audiences demanded that she return.
And when she returned, that yoga did her well, because she looks great when she comes back in Crystal Skull.
Oh, I have to see it.
Say what you want about Crystal Skull, but she looks great in it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. I had no doubts. Speaking of, I do not have a segue into the reviews. Let's talk about the reviews. Tom Huddleston from Time Out writes, more spectacular and intricate action sequences may have been devised since, but it's rare to find one with this level of bone-crunching realism and intensity. And that's the truth. I mean, like, yes, like you said, we have all of the CGI. We have all of the things now where like things can be very crazy and high budget. But this just felt so much more real than anything that we're seeing now.
There's even something about this movie when they punch somebody, there's like a sound to it that isn't realistic, but it's fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
In a way that I was like, I don't think I've realized or registered before, but every time someone gets punched, there's this like intense thud sound that they add, and I was like, that's kick-ass.
It makes it exciting. We don't want, and the sound that actually happens when you punch somebody is not that exciting.
No, it's like just a dull thud.
I said when I punched no one ever. Roger Ebert gave this 4 out of 4 stars.
Hell yeah.
He loved it. He writes, Raiders of the Lost Ark is an out-of-body experience, a movie of glorious imagination and breakneck speed that grabs you in the first shot, hurtles you through a series of incredible adventures, and deposits you back into reality 2 hours later, breathless, dizzy, wrung out, and with a silly grin on your face.
He had the time of his life.
That might be the best review of his I've ever read.
He should have just wrote, woo! Wee!
Yay!
Roger Ebert gives it, wee! Because he was having a blast.
4 out of 4. Yay!
It just cuts to him smiling with the popcorn bucket.
2 thumbs way up my own butt. Speaking of stuff up our butts, let's go to Letterboxd.
Oh.
Demi writes, damn, you really hate to see a little monkey do a Nazi salute.
And the little monkey does.
The little monkey does. Want to know how? They had to dangle a grape over the monkey's head to try and get it to reach up, and it took 50 takes to get it right. Take your 50 takes, because we want to get a monkey doing a Nazi salute right. We want to get it right. So take your time.
Most of the budget went to that. They're like, we need more grapes.
They're like, we've eaten all of the grapes in Tunisia. Most of them are poisonous.
Most of them are making us sick.
That's why they had to write in the monkey dies. They're like, that monkey ate 18 poison grapes.
Now it's dead. Get a shot of it on the floor.
Somebody toss it by that bowl of dates. Anyway, Liam writes.
Toss it.
Toss that dead monkey, please. Liam writes, can someone please enlighten me how this complete and utter bloodbath was rated PG?
I said that. Yes. Like blood splatter. There's that moment in the Nepal bar where the guy just like blood is coming out of his head.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is PG?
Not like that. Like freaking Alfred, what's his name? Molina?
Mm-hmm.
His first role, by the way, his first ever movie role. His literal, I mean, we know it's not him, and maybe that's why it's PG, because it's like very clearly these are dummies. But it's still like very gruesome. It's just like him with arrows all pointing at him. He's been skewered.
Yeah.
It's very graphic.
Also,
it's kind of like goofy graphic, I guess.
It just clicked with me. Last week was Center Stage.
Yeah.
Alfred Molina is in Spider-Man 2. He plays Dr. Octopus.
Yes.
Who only becomes Dr. Octopus because his wife is killed. Guess who plays his wife?
Who?
From Center Stage.
I want to. I'm not thinking.
Donna Murphy.
Donna Murphy. I knew it was Donna Murphy, but my brain wanted me to say Deborah Messing.
Deborah Messing from Will and Grace. No, Donna Murphy is his wife, and he's like, my Rosie.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. It all
connects.
The movie cinema world is small.
All connects like an airplane going like this over a map in Indiana Jones.
Hey-o.
It connects.
It all connects. Stephanie writes, Indiana Jones could have texted me at 12:24 a.m. for a booty call, and I would have responded to him at 12:22 saying, I'm on my way.
Literally. I got something you can discover. My prostate. Sorry.
My covenant. Get inside my covers, Nint.
That was fucking terrible.
So sorry. If it comes to me, I have to say it on the podcast. That's the rules. That's them the rules. Let's get into the plot.
Let's get into the plot. It's 1936. Spooky.
Okay. At least it's not post-apocalyptic 2029.
LA.
I'll take Nazi Cairo, okay?
Well, that's a good point. There is something when something's in the past, you're like, I feel safe in this. I know how things turn out.
Right.
When something's like
Even though
2 years
really
from
bad.
now.
You're like, I don't know about
I'm
this.
scared.
Yeah.
But it's 1936, and it opens. We're in South America. And we meet the whip-wielding archaeologist. I'm having a stroke because he's so hot. Harrison Ford playing Indiana Jones. And he's trying to retrieve this little golden stacked little statue. It's got a butt.
I said that. I went,
butt
look at
cheeks.
its little booty.
Little booty.
And its eyeballs were like, they look like from Michael's, like beads you could get. I was like, I never noticed how specific the eyeballs are, and I don't like it. It's like a little monkey statue.
But he's trying to get this little idol that's inside of this temple that is completely booby trapped. And we see him this, like, from the jump, we're getting adventure fun.
Suspense.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, in a way that, like, Jumanji, right? We
Yes.
get all these, like, games, and it keeps you like, what's next?
Not only that, we trust our protagonist right off the bat because he is very well equipped.
That's a great point.
While Alfred Molina is like following him around like, oh, just move, just walk. We can do this, senor. And he's like,
nah. Careful. And then he puts his finger into the light, you know, and a
Fing.
dart goes through his finger. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you're right. From the jump, we're trusting him because he knows how to navigate this world.
It's not his first rodeo.
Unfortunately, though, he doesn't calculate things entirely correctly.
Right.
Because when this again, famous, the first 10 minutes of this are, you know,
Yeah.
often replicated in spoof and everything else. When he moves the sand, replaces this, you know,
The idol with the sandbag.
Guess it's not weighted enough because then everything starts going off, going crazy. Alfred
have,
Molina is like, toss me the idol. And he's like, no, give me the whip. And he's like, no, but toss me the idol. So he does that and he goes, best of luck, bitch.
Bye.
Bye.
So now he has to like jump this gap.
Jumps.
Barely makes it.
Hits his whole body. And when he rolls out of there, Alfred Molina is strung up like a shish kebab.
He is skewered like a toasted marshmallow.
Because we don't trust him. He doesn't have the wherewithal to get out of there.
Hell no. He's just running like a normal person. You can't be doing that.
He's like, this is my first movie. I don't know how to do this.
And so he's like, all right, well, at least I got this idol back. But wait.
Just kidding, because his archaeological arch nemesis.
Wait, you just skipped the most important part of the sequence.
No.
He gets chased by a boulder.
Oh, but everybody knows that.
It's our job to revive the plot.
Oh, my God.
He gets chased by a boulder down this. Oh, I forgot a fun fact, too. Okay. So when they first walk in, you know how they're covered in tarantulas?
Yes.
So Spielberg wanted tarantulas everywhere on Molina's body. But at first, it didn't look that scary. They didn't look that real because they didn't move. They were just like sitting on his back. An animal consultant on set said it was because the spiders were all male. So if they dropped in a female, they would go batshit. So then Spielberg said, release the female spider. And then when they did, the spiders went crazy all over his body. And Spielberg told Molina, act scared. We've only got one shot. And Molina replied, I don't need to act.
That would have been my first movie and my last. You're covering me in moving tarantulas.
You're about to start a mating frenzy on my back.
I'm running myself headfirst into those spears.
I'm good. I'm out of here,
I'm
sir.
done.
Thank you. Yeah. So they build this huge boulder out of fiberglass.
That's what it's made of?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's rolling down. He's got to escape this thing. He finally escapes within an inch of his life. And he's surrounded by natives with their blow darts, led by
His arch nemesis.
Renee
Belloc.
Another archaeologist.
Who's French.
Archaeologist.
Mm-hmm.
Archaeologist.
He's like, congrats, Dr. Jones. I once again steal from you.
Yeah.
Like typical French person.
Cool.
And then Belloc is like, kill him to the natives because somehow he's their
Knows that
supreme leader.
language,
Yeah, he's got their El Dorado. He's their god now. And Indy runs up to this waiting plane where his friend is just fishing in the Peruvian swamp. And he's like, start the engine! Start the engine! And you just see him go over the hill, right? And then follows, there's like 100 big people with spears over the hill.
We love that shot. No matter what movie it's in, we love that kind of shot.
Incredible. They barely make it out of there. We get this really great introduction to the fact that Indiana Jones is terrified of snakes because there's a snake inside the plane. He's like, don't worry, that's just my pet
just
snake.
My pet. He's like, I hate snakes.
I hate snakes.
Now we know.
And that is such a great, like, from the jump, we're getting fun.
I'm dialed
action adventure.
I'm going nowhere. I'm sat.
Now we're back at school because he's apparently a teacher.
He's an archaeology professor.
Who gets what? He does that on his spring break?
Yeah, I'm like, what? Well, it's like he's a professor who's also employed by a museum who he is finding all of these artifacts for.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, his class is stacked with women who are obsessed, trying to slob on his idol.
Blinking, I love you. And just not paying attention to anything he's talking about.
Absolutely not.
Not at all.
Because it's 1937, so it's not like women are allowed to be archaeologists anyway.
Oh, yeah. They're like, I may as well just stare at the teacher. I can't take anything from this class. The janitor's coming in there afterwards and just like, the floor is soaking wet in here. I'm like, oh, every Tuesday. It's disgusting.
Is it raining inside?
What's going on? Is there a leak?
Is there a curse on one of these artifacts? Yeah.
And then the guy, that one boy at the end, as everyone's finding out, he like just drops the apple.
Drops the little apple.
Oh.
He's like, I'm closeted, but
like,
here.
It's 1936. I can't be gay.
Here's a fruit.
I will go to an asylum. But he's back in class and... Again, he's a hot teacher. I wouldn't be paying attention either.
No. I would be breaking laws.
Oh.
Anyway,
Jones is then briefed by these two intelligence agents who are like, hey, what do you know about this guy named Abner Ravenswood? And he's like, he's my old teacher and my mentor, and maybe we kissed once. And they're like, okay, well, the Nazis, because it is 1936, the Nazis are looking for like historic religious artifacts. Hitler's obsessed with it. We've intercepted a telegram, I guess back then. Yeah, not like a courier pigeon.
Overheard some Morse code.
We saw some smoke signals.
Beep, 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 beep.
And your former mentor, this guy Ravenswood, was mentioned in one of them because the Nazis are currently digging outside of Cairo. And Jones... and his name escapes me, the museum guy.
Don't know, don't care.
Well, he becomes important later on in the other movies.
Oh, well, I guess we'll talk about it then.
When we do it then. But they both know exactly what the Nazis are looking for right away.
Yes.
They're looking for the Ark of the Covenant.
Yes.
From the Bible.
The Bible.
Ever heard of it? If you listen to this, you probably haven't read it.
I haven't.
Okay. Well, I went to religious school.
I haven't stayed in enough hotels for that.
You don't take the free Bible they put in the hotel?
Not me. It couldn't be me. Although once a guy, my MySpace boyfriend from high school, when we met up, gave me a pocket Bible as a gift.
You guys met on MySpace?
No, we met at a thespian competition, and then our love bloomed over MySpace.
And he's married to a man now?
No.
Really?
He's doing witchcraft now.
Period. He said, I'm going the opposite way. And not the gay opposite way. I'm going the witch opposite way.
Oh, I swing both ways. Christianity and witchcraft.
Dr. Jones tells him that the Nazis are most likely looking for the lost Ark of the Covenant. And
they need this like special medallion to do anything with it.
Right. There's a medallion that goes on the staff of Ra that when it hits the light correctly, it's for an action adventure movie, they aren't treating us like idiots, right? Which I respect. They are giving us
talking to us like grown-ups
and giving us real historical facts, truth.
Yeah.
They're not making this shit up. This is all real stuff.
Yep.
Purportedly.
Allegedly.
But
Ravenclaw.
Ravenswood has this medallion, and Jones is like, that's probably why they're looking for him, right?
Yeah, I better get there and get it, one, before the Nazis do, and two, like, make sure he doesn't get fucked up by the Nazis.
Yeah. And so
Cut to.
Indy is sent to like look for it before the Nazis get to it, right? Even though we can tell there's a little something going on because he goes, "Do you think she'll be there?" And the guy's like, "Oh, I don't. You have bigger problems than that. Bigger problems than a beautiful woman? I don't know.
Don't know them.
Never heard of that." So we cut to
Siberia.
Nepal.
Yes.
Yes.
The shot taking contest. This cute little lady who looks not dissimilar from the way I look right now, doing shots with this massive Scottish
And
man.
I look like the Ronald McDonald person across from her, who is, I don't know, waterclogged and dredged from a river. And it's like, I'm going to do shots too.
This is how we stayed under budget. Our extras are just drowned bodies we found in the lake.
Propped up to take shots.
Yeah.
But we are introduced to Marion Ravenswood, who is this like badass, cigarette smoking, gravelly, gun slanging, shot taking woman.
Runs this bar.
Uh-huh.
When Indiana Jones was working with her father many years ago,
They had an illicit love affair.
they had a love affair, which I read. It's a little yucky. 'Cause
Yeah.
she says she's like,
I was just a girl.
I was a child. And he
Yeah.
goes, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, that made me feel...
With the math, she would have been 15 and he would have been 25.
Yeah, as a kid, I'm like, these two love each other. As an adult watching that, I was like, I feel like he took advantage of
Yeah,
her.
this is a real Lolita situation.
Uh-oh.
And so, anyway, she hates his guts.
She hates his guts. She punches him right in the face.
Yeah.
Because she outdrinks Ronald McDonald, waterclogged Ronald McDonald. And then Indiana Jones shows up. When she's closing up the bar, she's just trying to wipe down everything with a sandy rag. And he's like,
I knew you'd walk back through my door.
Surprise.
And he's like, look, I need to talk to your daddy.
I need to talk to your dad. And she's like, well, best of luck. My dad's dead.
Sad day.
Sad day. She doesn't seem sad about it.
He's like, but I know you know where this thing is.
She's like, maybe so. What's it to you? And he's like, I'll pay you $3,000, which back then was like $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's 1936.
You could buy your Hamptons estate in East Egg next to Mr. Gatsby. That might be the wrong time period.
Yeah, guess he was 20s.
Gatsby was already dead in the pool by then.
Oh,
But
yeah, floating around. Speaking of waterclogged, she's like, you know what? Come back tomorrow. If you want it that bad, you can wait. And he's like, okay,
Bye.
I'll be back. Then all of a sudden, this Gestapo scary motherfucker walks in, and he's like, hello.
This guy was terrifying.
So scary.
I hate him.
When he takes his hat off and he's got the ring of hair and just bald in the middle, I said, that's what I would look like
Is
if I
that
could.
Daddy?
But what's crazy, in a certain shot, you can tell that his head, they shaved his head to look like that.
Oh, for sure.
He has a hairline in that they shaved his head. I said,
For
how
sure.
unfortunate.
He's so fucking creepy, this pig-nosed, scary Nazi dude.
So scary. And he's like,
I'm
I'm
here
here
to
for the
get-
same thing
I'm
that
here
Dr.
to
Jones.
get your jewels.
I'm here.
She's like, no, fuck off. He's like, okay, I guess I'll put this red hot poker literally up your vagina.
Literally.
And then, of course, right in the nick of time.
Indiana Jones saves her with his whip. Hot. Literally, because the place burns down. And in the scuffle, everyone's dying. I love that part when he's got his head against the bar.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Whiskey.
And she's like, hands in the bottle. He smashes it. Also, something that's ingrained in my mind from this movie is when Karen Allen, someone shoots the barrel of beer or whatever it is, and she, before she goes to bonk that guy in the head,
She's
just
under it.
takes a sip. Incredible.
So good.
Iconic.
Iconic.
In the middle of this scuffle, the medallion that she actually wears as a necklace, huge fucking costume jewelry, that's way too big.
Liability.
Weighing her neck down. She's like, I don't know where it is, as her head goes like this. Oh, my father's medallion?
He died. He was strangled to death by this medallion.
He couldn't breathe after wearing this medallion. It has been burnt up to 1,000 degrees by the fire, and this Nazi motherfucker goes to grab it, and he's like,
But he doesn't let it go.
he doesn't let go right away.
He has to run outside, stick his burning hand in the snow.
He goes full Looney Tunes out the window.
Yeah.
And Karen Allen grabs it with a scarf because she's smart, and the two of them leave. They escape. Incredible. Fun.
Super fun. She's like, you've got a partner.
You've got a partner.
Cut to-
I was a child.
I was just a child.
Cut to
Consensual. Cut to they're in Cairo.
They're in Cairo.
With
They're in
their
Egypt.
friend
Salah.
Salah and his 1,000 children.
1,000
wife.
kids.
And he's like, okay, I don't know. You keep talking.
So now that they're in Cairo, his friend Salah informs him that the Nazis are digging, and we don't find this out till a little bit later. It makes sense to tell you now. They're digging with a replica of the medallion. Mm-hmm. And he's like, how are they digging? I don't understand. And you realize they're doing it with a replica based off that guy's scarred up hand. Right?
I did not make that connection.
I made that connection. That I was like,
so smart.
Yeah.
And honestly, smart on his part. He's like, well, I still have a map.
He's like, well, can you use this? And they're like, oh my God, it stinks.
Like, ew.
It smells like beef jerky in here. Marion and Indy, they go out in the market, and this one we're getting the little kernels of these people care about each other, despite how it started, how it's going
Because you know
now.
what? Every woman that's been
Groomed. Every woman that's been groomed by an adult man.
groomed and spurned. That's the right word, right? Spurned lover.
Yep.
Is always, no matter if they know it or not, is on a mission to have that man grovel back.
Oh, yeah. I think the opportunity to then tell that man, fuck off, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a pet monkey now. She's like, this is our kid. He's got your
eyes and your shitty attitude.
He's got your sense of non-monogamy and a love for bananas.
and a love for young kids. Pervert.
A love for poison dates with young ladies.
But Marion and Indy are ambushed in the market because the little monkey is a Nazi.
Shocking.
So he gives them away to the Nazis who are looking for Indiana Jones. They know he's here. They can smell him. No, they probably just feel the heat from Harrison Ford. They're like, a really hot American is around.
They're like, who's out here vomiting? Who's got dysentery? They're not used to the climate.
It smells like diarrhea in here. An American is around. We get this great sequence where, they're bonking the people on the head, the bad guys. When that huge motherfucker pulls out that Arabian Night sword and is like, going like this, and Harrison Ford just pulls the gun out and shoots him. Amazing.
This was not originally the scene.
Oh, I love that.
The scene was he was going to have a sword fight with him, but Harrison Ford was so weak from
having diarrhea,
blowing chunks out both ends. He went, can I just shoot the motherfucker?
Hell yes.
And they went, just do it.
There's a reason for the dysentery. Next time you have diarrhea because you ate dairy,
this is part of God's plan. Film something with it.
Film something. Make something
and
from
not
this.
the way that the original Bluey filmed himself having diarrhea, and that's why he's not Bluey anymore. Did you know this?
What?
Fun fact, unrelated for all you parents out there.
You talking about Bluey the dog?
I'm thinking of the wrong kid show.
Bluey is a female dog. My nieces love her. It's a girl, I'll say.
No, not Bluey. Who's the guy who dresses weird? He's got the suspenders on.
Pee Wee Herman?
No. He's a guy, he has a show, and he sings with the kids now. Fuck. Now
I don't watch kids shows.
Now I have to cut this.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway, just for you, the original guy got replaced because they found a video of him online projectile shitting onto another guy. Not Wibby. Quibby.
No, that's a...
Squibby. It's something with Ibby.
Those are apps you can watch free movies on.
It's something with an Ibby.
Leave this in, please.
Okay,
Leave
fine.
this in.
Parents write in. You know who I'm talking about. It's
You
like
know
Gibby,
who's doing diarrhea.
Gibby. Anyway, you knew that guy changed out halfway through. Anyway.
I also love in this sequence we get the line from Marion where she goes, "You can't do this to me. I'm an American." So great.
My boyfriend goes, ugh, American women.
Oh, true. Come on.
Every woman on a plane.
Right. I mean, I was about to say.
You can't throw me off this plane. I'm American.
White American women
Yeah.
entitled since 1936.
That's exactly right. We have this fun sequence where she gets in a barrel and then there are 1,000 barrels of the same
Love
ilk
that.
and he's got to find her.
They put the barrel onto a truck and then that truck explodes. And so
he's like, Marion's
fuck.
dead.
Marion's dead.
That sucks.
He takes the actual medallion to an imam who transcribes what's written on it. And it's like, the guy's like, hold up. This says to not go any further with trying to find the ark.
God says no.
God said, stay away. But it also says the correct length of the staff to find the thing. He realizes the Nazis aren't doing it correctly.
They're digging in the wrong place.
Of course, because they're idiots. They're Nazis. So him and Salah, they go to the dig site, and they're like, we have the correct staff. They go into this little, it looks like a Lego set.
It's like a little model of the
ancient Egyptians were like, what if we built like a little cute I Spy Lego set downstairs?
What if we did Legos?
Legos,
Literally
tale
Legos.
as old as time.
Yeah.
And they find where the correct positioning of where the ark will be in the Well of Souls. So they go, it's, 8 feet away from where the Nazis are digging.
Yeah.
And they dig themselves. They open that thing up, and the Well of Souls is filled with snakes.
Filled with snakes.
Filled.
They had to scour every pet store in Tunisia. There were 8,000 to 10,000 snakes in there, real snakes.
How did you do that ethically? I know a lot of those snakes died.
And they're dropping lit torches on them. They did not care.
Poor snakes.
Poor snakes. They originally were going to try to use electronic ones, but it just looked too fake. And so what's not snakes are like pieces of garden hose.
Hell
just like
yeah.
buried under the real snakes. Producer Kathleen Kennedy recalled how the cobra that he comes face to face with, thank God when they filmed that scene, there was a piece of glass between him and the cobra, because that cobra wound up and just sprayed venom all over that glass screen right where his face would have been. So that's nice. Also, Karen Allen refused to actually go in here.
Oh, same.
So did her stunt double. So one of the snake handlers named Stephen Edge
Put a wig on.
he did a double. He decided to agree to double for Marion's legs. They just made him shave his legs and put on a dress.
Sexy.
And he did it.
And he's like, honestly, this awoken something in me.
Anything to get this shot, my guy. So he has to crawl down there into the snake pit.
Yes. They find the ark. It's this beautiful decorated box, and they move it carefully. They have their friends pull it up, and then they realize that the Nazis have found out that it's actually them.
This whole time, mind you,
Marion
is alive.
Yeah, she's tied up in a tent.
She was kidnapped. Belloc is like, put this dress on and dance for me.
Belloc, hey, why do you have that dress? Because he was wearing it at night, probably.
Sure.
But he's like obsessed with her.
Yeah, he is obsessed with her.
Yeah.
He's like, you can have whatever you want, but leave me with the girl. So they like have dinner together. She's drinking him under the table. They're laughing. She grabs a knife and is like, actually, I'm out of here.
Actually, but then Taut and his weird hand thing show up, right? All that to say, when they discover that Indiana Jones has actually found the Ark, they're like, we got to get rid of him. They take the Ark.
They say, Auf Wiedersehen, but they drop Marion.
Motherfuckers. And they put Marion in
They
that
drop
snake
her in
pit.
that snake pit.
Yep.
Right
and
with
they
him.
close it up. Jones, using his big, sexy Harrison Ford brain, was like, I'm going to knock over this big Anubis statue through the wall into a pit of dead bodies. It's literally the Well of Souls.
Hated it. Also, I'm like, none of these look old enough to be here.
No, and it's an action adventure. It's fun, whatever, but horrifying when the snake is crawling out of that thing's mouth.
Really, truly terrifying.
Shocking.
Looked disgusting. Made me
And
queasy.
she's like,
yeah, she's suddenly like just bombarded with these dead bodies.
Skeleton
They
hands.
literally make it look like there are zombies attacking her.
Yeah.
I'm like, are these just other archaeologists who have come down here to find it
All
and
of them
blown their
die.
faces off? Like,
Yeah, all of them die.
they're
All of
on
them get
the
bit by
walls.
snakes.
Yeah, why are we all on the walls?
He finds, though, a little ray of light, and he's like, we can get out of here. They get out, and Jones, he's not willing to give this shit up. He's like, you know what? I'm not calling it quits. We get this sequence, which is fucking amazing, when he kills this guy on the... Because Marion is like, I'm going to get inside this plane, and I'm going to use
on the tarmac.
gun to shoot people.
Well, that was pretty badass.
So badass.
She's machine gunning like trucks full of Nazis.
He's punching this guy who looks like a roided out thumb. And I can
Yes.
say that because I'm bald.
Yes, you can.
The two of them are going at it, and when Jones ducks because the guy's about to be killed by a propeller,
Blood, brain splatter everywhere.
cinema.
Fun fact. During the scene where they're doing this whole fight on the plane runway, Harrison Ford was actually run over by the plane and tore the ACL ligament in his knee. Yeah. He recalls in the documentary, at a certain point I slipped and fell. The wheels rode up onto my knee, which resulted in me tearing my anterior my ACL, in my left leg in the middle of Tunisia. So rather than submit to any local medical care, we just wrapped it up, put ice on it, and I carried on. Because he is the real life Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
More carpenters turned actors, please.
I should become a carpenter. But like
that's how we'll get famous.
But the one that sings like they long to be close, like the Carpenters, the singers.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna become a carpenter and then be the child of God.
I'm about to say and get crucified and save humanity.
If I'm not getting crucified online, might as well do it in real life. Yeah, they bashed this guy's head into a propeller, and then they're like, "Let's get the fuck out of here."
But they realize Salah's like, the Ark is on that truck. We get this really great chase sequence again. The plot is moving, but we're also still getting really incredible action sequences, right? Where like we see this Jeep go off of a cliff. We, where he's punching people through the car doors. It's amazing. He's able to steer the Ark truck back into Cairo. Somehow, this is not clear, but somehow all the locals are like, in here, and we'll cover it up, and we'll support you.
The whole time they're like, hey, throw all your kids on him, then they'll never shoot him.
That's like he's got all the locals on his side. The Nazis don't know any, different once they roll up. They're like, they don't know where the Ark is.
Right.
They arranged to put the Ark.
Real quick, fun fact. During the truck chase, and all these people are getting like shot down everywhere, instead of using liquid fake blood for this, because there's so much going on, and they have to do take after take because it's such an intense action sequence. They were using red dust, and the only available red dust they could find was cayenne pepper, which caused a lot of suffering with the stunt crew, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Can you fucking imagine doing
we're pre-season the stunt crew.
Today it would be like on TikTok. It would be like, come with me to do the cayenne pepper gunshot challenge.
Come with me to smear a bunch of cayenne pepper on me because I want to be in a Steven Spielberg movie.
Worth it.
They put the Ark on this like steamer because they're going to take it to London. We get, and I talked about this at the beginning, we get this real sexy scene because they haven't really kissed.
They're on a boat.
There's been sexual tension.
That's not true. He kisses her when he realizes she's alive.
Yep, you're right.
Really quickly.
Yeah.
And then he puts the gag back in her mouth and leaves her for dead.
Yeah.
But this is like, she's trying to play nurse with him. She's like bandaging him up.
He takes his shirt
off.
off.
It hurts. She's like, well, where doesn't it hurt? He's like, here.
Oh.
He kisses his elbow.
That is so hot.
It's
I'm sorry. I'm a sucker.
Hot.
One time, someone on the Q train, kissed me on my not a stranger, someone who I was like involved
someone
with.
You knew.
He kissed me on my closed eyelid and told me I was beautiful. And I hate to be this person, but that changed the chemistry of my body forever.
Literally.
Forever. And it was in the little part of the Q train that has like the little seat where you sit together, the lover's seat.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is one of the most intimate, delicious, and they don't even end up having sex because he passes the fuck out.
In a movie where people are getting the shit beat out of them, then all of a sudden we have this moment that I'm like, I've never seen intimacy like this.
This delicate. He touches all these different places. Also, major props to him for not just going, oh, this is a game we're playing?
Here.
The tip of my dick doesn't hurt, actually.
Where else doesn't it hurt? I'm turning around touching my butthole. I said, here. Here.
Yeah. His eyes, temple, his lips. Motherfucker passes out mid foreplay.
The Germans show up in their fucking U-boat. Trying to think of a quippy quip and I can't. But they're like, we know Jones is on here and we know that Ark is on there because the Ark through that box is giving off fucking like
vibes. The vibes are strong.
Ooh, the rats are going crazy near
Ghosty.
It's burning off the Nazi symbol on the crate.
Yeah, there's some angry gods in there.
The Nazis, they take Marion and they take that crate and they're like, where's Jones? And the guy's like, I don't know. Also, do you know who that actor is who plays the pirate captain?
No.
Well, you love Harry Potter. I'm indifferent on it nowadays. That's the guy who plays Kingsley Shacklebolt. It's the same actor.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's just a young man.
Always protecting the good guys.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah.
They take Marion, they take the Ark, and they're like, well, Jones is dead, apparently. We're going to get on the boat. Jones is not dead. He swam to the U-boat, but we want the girl, too, because Belloc is still on there, and he's still got a raging Belloc boner. And he's like, yeah, I want her to wear my dress, and then I'll wear the dress.
Yeah. Then I'll wear her skin inside the dress.
Put the lotion on its skin, Belloc. Jones is on top of the U-boat, and all the pirates are like, yeah, go. My question, that boat goes underwater. We don't see him get in the boat.
No.
He's attached
This
to
man
that
gets
boat.
into a submarine and just gets off at the next port.
Just holds on and holds his breath. For a whole sea. No way.
No way.
They
For
go
a whole sea.
For a whole sea. He's got gills. They go to this island because Belloc wants to try out. He wants to sample the powers of the Ark before they show Hitler.
Just a little taste.
Just a little schnipple.
Because he's like, they're like, this has been really annoying. Let's just get this back to Hitler, okay?
Yeah, we got it.
And
Hitler's
he's like,
mad.
don't you want to know if this shit works before you show up to the Führer?
You want to take it to Berlin and then have it not work? Like when you get home, you didn't try out your iPhone at the store?
This man will...
Huh? You got to plug it in at the store, see if it works.
Yeah, so that's what they do.
So they take it to an island because they're also like, what if this thing like blows everybody up?
Yeah.
Which, Jones, he pulls out a fucking rocket launcher and he's like, I'm going to blow up the Ark. Just give me the girl. And she smiles and I was like, this man just wants you.
But then he kind of fucks it all up when they're like, Belloc's like, guys, I got this. Blow it up.
Blow it up. Go ahead. Because he knows
You and I are the same.
Jones will never hurt something that historically important.
We both love history and now we are part of it.
And he goes like, I know you want to see what's inside this.
Mm-hmm. So he's like, all right, never mind. Take it,
I
girl.
know you want to see me wear the dress that Marion's wearing right now. Maybe? No? Okay, testing the waters.
And they're right. And so he's just like, all right. Anyway,
right.
I guess kidnap us both.
So they go to do this like big demonstration.
They tie them, Indy and Marion, to a pole.
Inside this big amphitheater, just so happens to exist on the island. Thank God. Mm-hmm. And thank God, because literally God shows up when they open this ark. At first they're like, there's nothing in here but sand. Just kidding. The ghosts from Poltergeist are here.
Literally lightning, thunder, ghosties flying everywhere.
Luckily, Indiana tells Marion to close her eyes.
Luckily.
He's like, don't look.
I don't know why he knew that.
He's like, whatever's going on. He's like, I don't want to see God. God's going to tell me that I was a pervert to you when you were 15.
I'm not ready for Judgment Day.
I'm not ready for that.
Close your eyes.
So all this shit is like flying around, and it still pretty much holds up. The special effects, yeah.
It's a little bit silly, but it's not.
It's silly in a fun way.
Yeah, it's silly in a fun way. Exactly.
Do you have a fact about this part?
I do. This next part. So all these ghosties are flying around. Then at first they just look like cute ladies. Cute lady ghosts. Then they get really fucking evil and scary. And then and then the guys are like, oh, we fucked up. We fucked up in a big way. Fire starts exploding out of everything. Laser beams shoot into everybody's bodies.
And then their faces melt off.
So the makeup effects supervisor, Chris Wales, conceived this whole idea for how to do this. So he made casts of the actors' faces using alginate, which is a substance that dentists use to make impressions of your teeth. Mm-hmm. The face casts were then used to make face molds on top of a stone skull. So the stone didn't melt in the flames. Then he added gelatin, yarn, and wool to mimic muscles and sinews. And then put two hair dryers on either sides of the faces for approximately 10 minutes. The heaters melted the gelatin, the mold off the face. And the footage was played back and sped up so that 10 minutes became 3 seconds.
Honestly, it looks badass.
It is so kooky crazy, and it looks great, and it is nasty.
Nasty. Oh, it's nasty.
Their faces fucking melt the fuck off. Belloc's head explodes.
Just explodes. He doesn't get face melt. His head explodes.
Yeah. And then everyone's just gone.
A pillar of fire. Like when we talk about biblical stuff.
Yes.
The Bible talks about pillars of fire all the time.
Yes.
So cool to have Spielberg put this literal pillar of fire comes out of the ark and it's like shooting up. We see this outlook of the island and we see this big pillar of fire and then it all goes back in the ark and closes.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone.
Everyone's disappeared except for Indiana and Marion.
Because they are pure of heart. Well, no, they just close their eyes.
Not really. They just close their eyes. That's when we released all this evil into the world, and
1936. It's all
That's
Indiana
when it all
Jones' fault.
started.
It's Pandora's box.
That's why Trump's president now.
Thanks, Indiana. Pervert.
Yeah.
So now we're back in America, and Indiana's like, I don't want the payment. I don't want whatever. I want to know where the ark is, right? You guys, as the U.S. government, historically have bungled a bunch of shit. Where is it?
They're like, don't worry. We have our best guys studying it.
Don't worry. Cut to it. Well, first of all, not cut to. I want to talk about this movie. When we talk about sets, when we talk about like grand whatever, just the scene when the two of them are going down the stairs, right, at the end.
Yeah.
It's in a wide shot, and it is beautiful. That's the building that they're in, right? Nowadays, we would get that scene, and it would be close-ups of the two of them being like, let's get out of here. I'm in love with you. Spielberg is giving us, like, beauty in the beginning when we get this Peruvian temple. At the end, when it's them back in America, like, they don't do it like this anymore.
No.
You know?
They don't.
But the two of them are like, let's go get a drink. And, she's like, I'm tussling. It's cute.
It's cute.
It's
They've
cute.
made up. They're together now. They're going to go get a drink.
She's forgiven him. Kind of. They cut to the box that the Ark is in is just being rolled around inside of a FedEx.
It's literally being created into a massive warehouse with a bunch of other top secret alien bodies, whatever else is in there that the U.S. government's
Lindbergh baby is somewhere in
hiding.
there. There's all sorts of shit that they're just like, government box.
We're just going to hide this away so no one else fucks with it. Which, to be fair, in this case, perhaps it's better that way.
Yeah.
However, who knows what else the U.S. government's hiding in that warehouse?
I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay, great. Don't.
Because that warehouse comes back in one of the later movies.
Of course it
Not
does.
the original 3, but
I
one
haven't
of the
seen
later
the
ones.
other ones.
They're fun.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. But yeah, that is
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Epic.
I love this movie.
Rate and summate.
I will legitimately give this film 9 out of 10 whips.
Ooh.
9 out of 10 whips.
Okay.
Almost perfect.
What's the one?
I think some of the special effects are like a little goopy, you know?
Yeah.
But that's going to be any movie from this era.
Yes.
But again, no one is doing... This is action adventure that we would get fucking... Sorry, but slop nowadays. That they'd be like, churn it out. People will get butts in seats.
Yep.
It'll be a popcorn eater movie.
Chris Pratt will star in it.
Chris Pratt will be in it and say something asinine. But this is, it's Spielberg, who is an incredible filmmaker. Hands to God.
Yep.
And we're getting him at some of his best. We're getting George Lucas producing this, who is creating a story that is entertaining. The market of like history and action, this spurned National Treasure, Tomb Raider. Like, you know what I mean? They should do more of this. Give me less sci-fi. Give me more like throw it back. They did try to do Jungle Cruise, Disney. That kind of flopped.
Yeah.
But this is the blueprint for so much action adventure, and it is so well done, and it is gorgeous, and it is the perfect stew mix of great filmmaking, charm, you know what I mean? Like movie star charm from him and her, from both of the leads. And yeah, I don't think you do better than Indiana Jones.
I couldn't agree more with everything you just said. I am going to give this film 9.5 Nazi monkeys.
Oh, jeez.
Reaching for grapes. The 0.5 taken off is for the pedophilia. Oh, yeah. But, I mean, you summed it up. Like, this is truly a cinematic blueprint. Yeah. This is where this shit started. And I just respect the hell out of it. It's movie making at its finest.
And it's not overly...
The score...
we didn't even talk about
the score.
I had notes about the score, but like the actual Indiana Jones like theme, beautiful. The swelling music of the love between the two of them, gorgeous. John Williams, God bless that man.
Williams has given us the most iconic scores of all time.
Like, and again, all part of the stew that makes this movie so beautiful, but also like you being a woman, so far as we know. Like, this movie is not overly bro-y, that it's like inaccessible for everyone.
It lets the woman kick some ass.
Yes.
And that's what we want.
And adding like the history aspect of it, adding all that, like it makes it accessible to everyone. I'm like a queer dude that I'm like, I fucking love these movies. Yeah. Right?
So good. So good. So good. If you don't like Indiana Jones, come at us and tell us why.
Yeah. Like, if you have a legitimate criticism of the Indiana Jones movies, let me know.
I'm expecting crickets.
And I'm going to argue with you.
Speaking of arguing with each other, come online. Argue with us in the comments. Let us know in the reviews how you feel about the podcast. Follow us online at Millennial Movie Club. Please engage with our posts.
Yes.
Tell us what you want to hear. We've been starting to get some requests in the inbox, which is fun.
Yeah.
And like, subscribe, do all the things. The more you help support us, you take 5 minutes out of your day to just click a button. It really helps us spread the show to more people who need a laugh while the world burns.
It also feels good for both Jazz and I to know that what we're putting out there is entertaining to folks. It gives me a little bit more fire to show up every week and be like, you know what? We're not just speaking into a void.
Yeah.
We're having fun.
It keeps our head out of the ovens is what we're trying to say.
Okay. Keep our head out of the oven.
Until next week. Whoosh. Bye.
That was a whip.